Perfect Buddy was the name of one of the was the chat room username of one of the predators in To Catch a Predator. You know what game is coming out?
What game is coming out?
That's gonna be better than Skyrim.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. That was going to be one of the clips at the beginning, but I can't do it now because you asked me to.
You literally can't. You can cut this out.
Did I say centuries? I didn't mean to say it like that. I meant in years.
I mean,
Noah didn't say he was ready, so I was like, I wasn't sure. You know, I was like,
Noah was the one who said let's record.
Yeah.
well, I didn't know that he was ready. Sometimes
No,
I
Why
say,
would you say let's do something
Haha,
and be
yes,
like, hold
who
up, I'm
would
not
do
ready to
that?
do the thing I just said we should do.
Haha,
who
we
would
should
do
do this
that?
thing. Haha, unless.
What? Yeah, what kind of asshole would just like say something and then not be ready for it? Am I right, gamers?
Wait, let me delay my response
didn't
by
do that
2
today
full
either.
seconds to figure out how to communicate with you real
Dude,
quick.
it was awful. It's so fucking annoying.
I wonder if that sounds like a common enough bug. This is not good podcast talk. Welcome back to Off the Air. We're going to talk about something different than mic problems in just a minute, I promise. Have you tried looking at forums yet?
Yeah, I have.
Have you
and
bought it on a? Did you buy it at a pawn shop?
No, I bought it off Amazon.
8 years ago. Weird. Because I bought mine at a pawn shop 8 years ago, and I've not had any problems. So
That makes me laugh a lot. Not out loud, but internally.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who are talking about like the buffer size, but like I'm not hearing a delay. I'm hearing just fine. It's and I can see it lighting up on the focus rate just fine. It's something with it entering the computer slow. I don't fucking know.
Maybe you need to check for software update.
I have, yeah. I think the next thing I'm going to test is I'm going to try plugging it directly into the computer because I have it currently, I think, running through my USB hub because I figured that would do better because that's powered. So I thought that would be a better choice. But it seems that it.
I think that sounds like a bad idea because direct into the computer is all that you really need to do.
Your face is all I really need to do. Fuck.
I want to talk about beer because I have a beer in my hands right now. And it's technically last week was our first week of September, but I forgot when we recorded. So here's me being insufferable for the second week of September because it's fall season. And I'm
I'm about to suplex you if you do the bit that I hate the most out of any bit.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
no, the
in
worst
pumpkin beer mode. I
Wow.
love
So brave.
seasonal things. I
I'm
love
probably the
seasonal
only
things.
one who likes that, and you're definitely ostracized for it.
So
I will
many
say,
people
I
say,
like-
Noah, how dare you like fun seasonal things? I hate you. And you know what?
Yeah,
I would
they
like
probably
to
say that
I would
a
like to
lot.
counterpoint. I love dumb seasonal things. Fall is the worst of the dumb seasonal things, though.
Shut the fuck up. Summer is the worst of the dumb seasonal things.
I don't know, dude.
I love
I
water and lemon. Shut the fuck up. I put mint in things. Get the fuck out of my face.
I've got Downey's lemonade right now, and it fucks.
I don't give a shit, man. Lemonade's a year-round beverage. Yeah, it's nice in the summer, but
It's a,
all
yeah, but if you're
summer
gonna get it as a
things-
seasonal thing, you're
so
not gonna get a
tired.
seasonal lemonade in the fucking middle of winter. What?
I can get lemons year-round.
What are you
It's the age of transportation.
You can get pumpkins
Cranberry
year-round
lemonade.
too, Noah.
But you know what? I
fucking hate
can't
this
get
shit.
pumpkin beer year-round.
Yeah, and I can't get
just,
hard
like,
cider lemonade
So
year-round.
done.
Why not?
You're just yelling over nothing.
I don't know. He came in so hard.
You came in so
You
hard.
did.
You came in and said, yeah, you know what? I love dumb seasonal things, but the thing you want to talk about right now, I think is the stupidest thing.
Okay, I'm the
You
villain here.
literally
When
said
Jackson
that.
literally just said moments before.
Jackson opened up with his bit of, oh yeah, wow, you're so quirky for liking pumpkin spice. Wow, everyone hates that, don't they? You said,
I do
I
not
think
see the
quirky
difference.
seasonal things are cool, but the one you like specifically isn't.
Yeah, I don't see
I
the
was
difference.
just joking about all the people who talk about how they're like, and no one's ready for it, but it's September, so I like pumpkins. Like no one cares anymore, man. Just live your life. Everyone's happy. Just do whatever.
Yeah,
I'm apparently
very
not.
different. That is so different from you saying,
I'm
fine with that, but your thing about pumpkins is the cringe.
I'm just dunking on the way that people make it out to be like they're like crazy for liking quote unquote spooky season. Nah, man, everybody likes it. It's a good time.
What I like about fall is that it's cool, but not so cold. I like being able to dress in layers. All of my outfits are layer based. Anyway, Rusty Rail Brewing Pumpkin Swirl is a pumpkin spice roll ale.
Dragons
It's
are layer based.
so good. You're thinking of ogres, actually.
Shut the fuck up. I hated that. That made me so irrationally angry.
Okay.
Because they go layer.
Fucking layer based. How dare you?
Dragons.
I hated it, but I also very much enjoyed it.
I literally only wanted to bring this up because I learned that I not learned, I guess. I'm reminded that Mifflinburg is an area of Pennsylvania.
Oh, no
It's a
way.
great name.
Yeah, that's where Rusty Rail is. Mifflinburg, PA, brewing proudly in the heart of Pennsylvania.
Eh? Why would they lie?
Why would they lie?
It makes Dunder Mifflin make more sense from The Office, though, knowing that it's actually a
Yeah.
place.
I wonder how far away from Scranton it is.
Probably very close, I have to assume.
I don't know about that.
The heart of PA is not really
That's
where I think of as.
Yeah.
Scranton's
Mifflinburg
more
is a
north.
village in Pennsylvania.
It's near Bloomsburg. Okay, so it's on the east side.
Let's see. We'll get directions from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
It's not impossibly far. Before you tell me the duration, I am going to guess Mifflinburg is about 2 hours and 38 minutes away from Scranton.
You're shooting really high on
Let's
on the
go.
on the fast road. It's 144, and on the long road, it's 2 and 5 minutes.
All right, that was a little bit long.
But is there a Dunderstown anywhere? Dunderston?
Don't even. Yeah, this guy doesn't know about Dunderston.
Dunderston.
In this economy.
Is there any more Ohio sounding a city than Dunderston?
Oh,
Dunderston,
like-
Ohio.
what about Akron?
Akron's pretty good. I'll give you that. God, okay, so I've talked about this before, and I'm going to talk about it again real quick. Nina has endlessly made fun of Pennsylvania for every city being Blankstown
Good.
and
as she said.
Blanksville.
Correct.
Because, everything around here is named because it was somebody's property at some point, and that's where all the towns are named because we are, the original colonies territories over here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I've always found to be like funny, but sometimes it's like, hey, now come on, you gotta cut us some slack. But I'm looking at Blakesley right now, and honestly, firstly, it's everything that she's make fun of, and she's right. But it has everything you need in a town. It is a 4-way intersection that has a Wawa, a CVS, a Dunkin', a Papa Santo's Pizza, a post
That's
office. I don't know if there's more than one gas station in this town.
City Hall is just some shack.
I don't think there's a city hall. There's a PNC Bank. There's Krav Maga of Albrightsville in Blakesley.
Yeah, they probably just got
Blakesley
it's just
United
small town
Methodist.
East Coast stuff.
They have a Wawa though, so like that's cool for them.
Dude, nothing hits like small town East Coast.
Oh, there's a fine wine and
Small
good
town
spirits there.
Appalachia is
I'm gonna move there.
goated.
I think that there's two types of small town Appalachia. There's one that's like very homey and kind of rural, and everyone's just kind of a vibe. And then there's like really uncomfy because I've driven through some parts of PA that I just did not like the vibe of.
I gotta be honest. I can't agree with you because I have not driven through any parts of PA that gave off worse vibes in the vaguely uncomfortable than driving on the highway in West Virginia at night.
That also
Yeah,
feels
West
like a bad
Virginia's
vibe.
cursed.
West Virginia, and there was a lot of lightning. In full fairness, like I'm not saying that there's not like some bad
There's a
vibe
lot of great
parts
stuff.
of Pennsylvania. I mean, Allentown exists, but like I don't know anything about Allentown, but
Yeah, we hate him though.
yeah,
I do love West Virginia overall. I think it's great. I think there's a lot of honestly really cool, really good stuff there.
mm-hmm.
There's just some areas where certain people aren't welcome, and that's a problem.
Yeah, it's one of those places that I honestly would kind of like to live in because there's a lot of untouched country there that I can get down with that. But
I mean,
also,
Charleston's awesome.
there's just some not cool people. And world's bravest man decides he's not going to live in a state that has uncool people more at 11. Like, obviously, that's not practical or realistic. And there's nothing about that makes any sense. But I also have a wife who's not white, so I have to think about these things.
I mean, to be honest, you should think about these things at least a little bit anyway.
No, in general, I should, but like as a personal practical problem, it is
And it's
also a
also
thing I
relevant
have to
to
be
you.
aware
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. I do like the fall. You know,
God, I love how Canada's laid out. I'm on the world map right now, and it's just like vertical slices of the country. It's just like, yeah, here's Saskatchewan, here's Manitoba, here's Alberta, here's British Columbia, here's Ontario,
of Queensland,
here's
yeah.
Quebec.
Well, the maritime provinces aren't like that, but even then they kind of are, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, it's just because so much of it is not uninhabitable, but uninhabited.
Mhm.
And as a result, you get a lot more just vertical divisions because they don't care as much. Alberta's not fighting Saskatchewan tooth and nail for the extra 30 kilometers up towards the northern end of things, until, of course, they found the oil sands, but that's a different situation.
Yeah. But yes, Dan, I agree. Fall is nice. I like the cool weather. I like everything about fall, and I'm brave for saying it.
No, I mean, I personally do think that seasonal fall stuff is the least interesting to me. But as
Okay.
a season, like as a vibe, fall has really good vibes.
Gotta be honest, man. I think that you're discounting our Lord and Savior pumpkins and bats.
I don't
No, I'm kidding. No.
no
It's
I,
a
I don't know
pumpkin
how
is
to
not an
no
ev-
I don't know how to explain this to you, but where I live has neither pumpkins nor bats.
No way.
Shut the fuck up. You live in New York.
That's so wrong.
There's pumpkins and bats there.
There's bats
There
everywhere
are
in
bats
cities.
there are bats everywhere, but there's no pumpkins.
You did shut
So
the
why would
fuck
you
up.
lie?
You don't know
I
that.
can't even where I live specifically, I have not seen a bat at any point.
Well, that's on you.
Including
How often do you go out at night and watch the
very
light poles?
often. I used to go out when I go to work I have to be out the door before sunrise. So I'm out in the wee hours of the morn.
Oh, sorry that you thought you lived in Batman land where you were gonna see bats flying around while
I mean-
dramatic music played.
I do think about that every time I go into New York in the middle of the night. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, no, I would too.
Every time I go into New York after dark, I'm like, damn, sure would be rad to see a Caped Crusader on a rooftop. Instead of a homeless man on the corner peeing again.
Good for him, though.
Good for him, I guess, but also
Well, who's gonna let him use the public bathroom?
I think it's really stupid that New York has an area called Long Island that is just a long ass island, by the way.
What else are you gonna
They're
call
not
it?
wrong.
Well, I don't know, Daniel.
Manhattan was already taken.
It doesn't
So
even look like a
true.
hat.
No, but it kind of looks like it looks
A Bronx. Too bad.
It looks both like knockoff Italy sideways, but it also just kind of looks like a penis.
Hmm.
And I don't like that.
Huh.
You should talk to your therapist about that one.
Yeah, no, I don't
You
know.
guys think that the Bronx is the most perfectly named place on the planet?
I can get behind that.
I want to disagree, like out of principle, out of like content, but that does feel correct. Like the Bronx is what it is.
It's Bronx.
Yeah, no, I can back that 100%.
Honestly,
Yeah, I'm
realizing
I'm a big
how
fan of
small
the
the
naming.
Bronx is compared to other areas of New York I hear about, God, it's a tiny ass area. But I don't hear people from Queens talk about things. Long Island is a giant fucking area. Brooklyn is bigger than the
Brooklyn is
Bronx, and I hear
huge.
about it less than the
How do you
Bronx.
not hear about people talking about Queens?
Yeah, also bold.
I think, well, in fairness, I think it's because I think the Bronx has a pretty heavy Puerto Rican population, and a lot of people that I know who are Puerto Rican who live in Erie came from the Bronx.
That is such a
Bronx.
specific, like that is so like I get that on this show we talk about very specific to us existence like things, but that is so hyper specific to your existence.
I do agree with you. It is a very hyper specific to my existence thing. But in my mind, it's true because I know so many Puerto Ricans who moved to Erie from the Bronx.
I have no opinions on the Bronx, to be honest.
Other than it's the Bronx.
It's the Bronx.
Love the
Brooklyn-
Mets,
I
baby.
like
Love the
Brooklyn.
Mets.
I've been to Brooklyn more than once, and I enjoy Brooklyn very much. Brooklyn reminds me very much of a lot of Philly, like a lot of like the not center city, like inner city Philly, like the immediate surrounding area, in good and bad ways. Which I'm sure people from Brooklyn would fucking murder me for saying, but I don't care.
Just have like negative desire to go to New York or
That's
to
fine.
live in New York.
I think that's totally reasonable.
I feel like if I wanted to live in a big city, I'd want to live in a bigger city. And if I wanted to live,
Bigger than New York?
I was gonna say, what do you mean bigger?
I don't know, like a bigger one.
Isn't New York the like New York metropolitan area is fucking ridiculously large, is it not? I mean, it's not okay. You know what?
In the U.S., I suppose.
I was gonna say, you know what? That's fair. I'm thinking very U.S. centric, and even in the U.S., I'm pretty sure that the fucking what is it? The trio in Texas is like the metro area of those three combined to be much bigger.
I think
yeah, but they have a lot more space.
the
between them.
ratio of New York, including Long Island as part of New York, to the entire population of New York, the state. It's very funny to me that all the laws about New York, the state, are made because New York, the city, when it's
It
such a tiny speck on the map of what is New York.
Oh, it's
honestly,
also not fully like that.
well, and
Because it's not a majority of the population.
It is, but also like the majority of the land of New York is just Pennsylvania, but they have to live with the taxes and stricter like laws of New York City. And I just think that's funny.
Yeah, they get weed though.
They do be getting weed. We don't get weed here.
Yet.
Very true. John Fetterman gets voted in, we get free weed or legal
Why are
weed.
state things not decided by just like all like props? Like why do we do state senators? Why can't we just do the thing that like we just like that's how like Michigan legalized weed is they just put it to a ballot and they were like, all right, everybody gets to vote. And then of course immediately a majority voted and they were like, wait, what?
Oh shit, we did that as a joke.
As a whole bunch of like old people who've been in office for the last 30 years, we thought no one actually wanted this that much. And you're telling me 60% of people immediately said, yeah, sure.
Damn, that's crazy. I was gonna say it's actually a really big problem. Not a really big problem. It is a big problem. In New York especially, but I also think it was an issue when I was living in PA. I noticed quite a bit as well. Is that like these massive, like they quite truly, it's impossible to hold. Like it feels wrong to hold New York City to the same rules as the rest of New York State, or vice versa, because they are such completely different worlds.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't hold each other to the same exact rules.
Not exactly, but it is a
Like if you're in Albany, you're not paying property taxes based on New York City at all.
That's true, but you are
You're paying
still
Albany.
There are a lot of things that do bleed over from New York City into New York State, and as far as like, let me double check before I say something wrong.
Good catch.
I mean, individual things like taxes on like fuel and gun laws, but that's not like a massive, like life-changing situation. You know, the price of milk is still the price is going to be way cheaper in Albany than it's going to be in the city, and overall, it's not going to be that expensive at all because dairy lobbies.
Well,
Dairy lobbies.
We do hate those.
No, but state rules like I'm the one I'm thinking of specifically is like the minimum wage, which like obviously minimum wage should always be like way higher than it is. That's not the conversation here, but like I think that you look at Pennsylvania, which has a kind of a wider range of like incomes and like regions and like cost of living, and it's easier to see how like the main city centers, regardless of the fact that they kind of require a higher minimum wage for the same standard of living, don't bleed over into the state as a whole. Whereas in New York City was I think $15 for only like a year before the rest of the state followed along. And I think that's, again, I'm not like saying, oh man, they shouldn't have higher minimum wage. It's just interesting to me to see these things that kind of do bleed over.
I just feel like it's one of those things where even though, like you said, it was there for a year first, so they had a solid year, and then they were probably like, oh, wait, this isn't as bad as we thought it would be. And then everyone else was like, yeah, we're going to adopt it statewide.
That's fair.
Because you've already seen it implemented and you already have it, like, the ability to put it into law.
That's fair. That makes sense. Have I talked?
Yeah.
Have I talked
just
on the?
I feel like
Go ahead.
New York is it's I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a spot. I've been there before, but not really any desire to go back there.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, knowing what I know of you, I think New York would be a hellhole for you. Like, and that's not like a somehow worse for that. It's just I don't think you would like. I understand why you would hate New York. Because it's like the exact antithesis of what you want out of life.
Isn't everywhere though?
No, I don't think so. I think not unlike Noah, you'd probably be happy in a not racist West Virginia.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little more prone towards slightly westward expansion, but you got to stay at least somewhere close for familial reasons for some people.
Exactly. Have I talked on the show about going to the Natural History Museum? Because I have gone now like 4 times in the last 4 months.
I will say that is something that's goated about living in a city is having access to a nice museum on a regular basis.
Museums, nice zoos.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, dude.
The Pittsburgh museums those Carnegie museums are insane.
Carnegie museums are rad. I have really fond memories of those growing up.
Isn't there a children's science museum in Pittsburgh somewhere too?
Yeah, children's science. Part of Carnegie. I'm pretty sure.
I remember as a kid that was the coolest place.
That thing was super cool. I have very distinct memories of that because it was right. Believe. Hold on. Let me double check dates again, making sure that I'm not saying the wrong thing.
I went to a children's museum fairly recently.
In I have like very distinct memories of being almost trapped in Pittsburgh because of the museum, because like for some reason, like out literally like within 24 hours, gas prices jumped like an absurd amount, like just like, and I'm sure like like it was definitely something to do with the war in the Middle East or something like that, because but I was too young to remember. But I like remember my family losing their mind because they literally couldn't get gas to get out of Pittsburgh.
I mean, there's only one reason
Yeah.
the gas prices jump, and it has nothing to do with foreign countries. It has everything to do with a few companies here in the United States that prefer to do those kind of actions to, make sure people stay pacified and unable to move. If you can't leave, you can't fight.
I don't think they put that much thought into it. I think it's a side effect of just wanting more money.
No, they do.
Okay.
It's malicious.
Okay.
It'd be nice if they were just like,
it's
dopey,
malicious.
I just want more money.
It's malicious in as much as they just want more money. I agree with that.
There's nothing not malicious about what they're doing.
Exactly.
But there's been so many hundreds of years of I just want more money that they also have to have a plan for suppression of the working class as well. It's not just simply just get more money. It's also a how do we keep them down? How do we keep them away? How do we keep them making us money? Because people don't make you money if they're independent. They make you money if they're dependent. And then you get more money by making them that way. And then you can afford to gouge them every once in a while. Put a little extra money on top, keep them from being able to pay money to go to things like different rallies and different protests.
Mm.
I understand the sentiment.
You think there's no political motive at all to the people who pay the government hundreds of millions of dollars a year?
Yeah, because that way
To be lobbied for?
Yeah, because of taxes and
No,
like
they pay them to
restrictions.
lobbyists.
No,
yeah,
they're
lobbyists, not tax
lobbyists.
payments.
That's different. That's making sure the right people stay in office so that they keep being able to do whatever they want with the oil. It's the
Like, you
reason
think the
that
Daily
America
Wire is
hasn't-
funded by fracking billionaires for funsies for more money?
Yeah, it's the reason that we haven't made any like significant advancements in green energy is because the oil lobbies keep shutting it down. Did I say centuries? I didn't mean to say it like that. I meant in years.
I mean, they've known for a long time.
I do. Again, I agree with you guys, but I really think that like it literally is just comes down to just making money at the cost of literally everything
I do
else.
think it's far more malicious than that, though.
At the cost of literally everything else.
But they're aware of that when you're doing it.
Yeah, but it's still.
So if they're aware of it and they're doing it, then they're doing it for that reason.
Yeah, to
they
make
know
money.
of the reason and they choose to do it anyway. But they're also doing they're taking part of the side effects as well, and they're not sad about those. And they're shelling out money to make sure that people are supporting them. So yeah, to make money, but there's other things more than money behind it.
I think those. See, I think it's cause effect. At least to me, it's very much a cause effect. Like all the other things are just a side effect of wanting to make more money, not it's not we want to suppress the working class and as a side effect we make money. It's we want money, so we're going to suppress the working class.
Yeah, but that means that they want to suppress the working class.
I think at its core, we're just going to keep dancing around the same point. So, like, it's kind of the same thing from two different angles. It just depends on how we want to.
Yeah, they're doing both, but they are aware that they're doing both, and as a result, they want to do both. Even if their primary motivation is financial gain, they're still participating in the secondary motivation, which furthers their financial gain. But they're still doing it, even if it's for a secondary purpose. They're still doing it.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
So then they're doing it, and they want to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then there's more to it.
Again, but we're talking. Okay, this is going around in circles. I would like to move on.
All right, fair enough. Do you have a better transition than Mifflinburg? Because I'm not bringing it back to that, but I'm just saying you have to meet my transition from earlier.
I need you to just, on no context, cut in at, do you have a better transition than Mifflinburg?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. That was going to be one of the clips at the beginning, but I can't do it now because you asked me to.
You literally can't. You can cut this out. You have the power. No, you and I, we talk about this every now and again. Not often, but it does come up that like, you basically do almost no edits on the show unless it's like specifically, hey, we don't want this going out to the world, or hey, you said something heinous.
I mean, that's not entirely true, but yes. Saying I do no edits does make it seem like I don't trim it down.
Sorry.
Like I cut
a
full 10 minutes of dead air out of each episode.
Of course, and you
Noah does a bad job.
you trim it down.
No, it
and
doesn't
you-
try.
That's what
and
I've
you
heard
make us
too.
sound less batshit insane as much as possible. But I find it really interesting that like, I don't know, I get that like we turn things around on a pretty quick turnaround, but I would be real tempted not to distort my comrades by any stretch of the imagination, but like to have like in situations like that, just cut it, just slice it up, chop it, rip it apart. Who cares? And I think that's just because I don't do it as often as I don't do podcast editing as often. that I'm
I
more tempted to
prefer.
just be like,
I
fuck
am.
it.
I'm devoted to the
truth?
true
Yeah.
essence of the craft. I'm a
To
purist.
the idea of making people say what they said
Yeah,
and not changing what they said to change their intention.
exactly.
That's not what I said at all.
It's always fun though when you just get to like I do love just like remixing a little bit. Switching the order of operations a bit.
Yeah, like we just did for like 5 minutes.
What?
Never mind. No, I was gonna say about Natural History Museum. That's where all of this started. I wanted to talk about the Natural History Museum. I love the Natural History Museum. I am tired of going because because Michelle gets in for free because of the company that she works for. It's great, amazing, phenomenal, even. But that means that that's the only place anyone ever fucking wants to go in the city, and there are so many museums, so many. I have been through the dinosaur exhibits in natural history 4 times out of the last 4 times I've gone. And every time I get through like the top 2 floors and then miss like 2 more floors because I just don't have time to go through them. And I get
Yeah,
that.
they need to make they need to make museums a little bit smaller.
I'm so traumatized
Genuinely.
at having to go through a giant museum I get in for free. Oh, it's such a bad time.
No, he's right though, because
No,
the
I
4th time you see a T-Rex, you're like, this kind of is fine.
Yeah,
No,
it's fine.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
If I see the fucking gemstone room one more time full of don't get me wrong, very cool rocks, but it is just full of rocks. I'm
Don't
good.
don't even dare besmirch the gemstone room.
No, the gemstone room, it's very, very fucking cool.
That is the coolest part of any natural history museum. It's just
very
like
true.
They have
the planet just be doing that.
Oh my god. Hold on, let me see if I can find the name of the exhibit.
I love a good crystalline structure.
I also love a good crystalline structure.
Oh, what was it?
I'm
The
trying to
one,
see-
the one place we were at had a big, huge chunk of like lead glass.
Yeah.
That was
The Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh has a really, really cool gemstone room in the way that they light it, in the way that they have like clean slices and they're all backlit. Like you really get a feel for like the whole room is dark except for the backlighting behind the gemstones.
Mhm.
It feels like it's like a totally different world, even though it's literally just stuff from the dirt.
There's
No, I would love to see that. I gotta make my way down there.
It's awesome.
So there's my personal favorite thing in the like stone and gemstone, the geology. I should call it geology because that's what it is this thing called the what is it? The Sterling Hill slab, which is just a gigantic fucking chunk of rock that, depending on what light you shine on, like whether it's black lit, white light, or in darkness, it glows completely different colors. And they just have it on a constant cycle between the 3, and it's just neat. It's just cool.
That is cool.
You guys ever been in a cave before?
I have
actually.
It's so like I love that going in a cave seems like a really strange experience, but everybody's done it. Like everyone's been like, you know what? I've actually been in a cave.
How?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question: how big of a cave are we talking here?
Oh, I've been in.
Are you talking?
I
a
would
cavern?
wager I've been in like 40% more caves than the average person.
I find that very easy to believe, actually.
But not like a ton. Yeah, like just like a few more. Because I've been to like the ones in State College that are like the underwater caves.
Like the big cavernous ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, that you on like the boat tours
Mhm.
through.
Yeah, us too.
And I went to the Mammoth Caves in Kentucky. Those ones were cool.
Ooh.
And then just some like smaller, less cavernous, just like fun little caves.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was my cave experience was not positive.
No?
Oh no.
Because I've only ever been in the really tight caves, like the ones that, in hindsight, are definitely the reason that I have like minor claustrophobia. When I was a young boy, I went to a summer camp, and part of that summer camp was like adventure camp or whatever the hell. And part of that summer camp is they take you out to these cliffs out in the Delaware Water Gap. I'm pretty sure. These cliffs that you can do rock climbing on. Very fucking cool. Showed me that I would actually really enjoy like real rock climbing over like shitty rock walls a million times. But one of the side effects of that is, and when you have a bunch of, rambunctious children running around, is you find a cave and you're gonna take some of your camp friends and go check out that cave. Like, obviously.
Oh hell yeah.
The problem is that people, and myself included, forgot that I was, especially at that time, a giant. And so I made it like it was like a ravine into a cave, and I made it through the ravine and tried to get into the cave and got stuck. Like, not stuck, but I couldn't get myself out stuck.
Mm.
And like the kid ahead of me
enough for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, stuck enough to be a nightmare. And the kid in front of me had to like give my shoulders a shove to push me back out.
There were people in front of you. You got other people trapped in the cave.
100%.
Theoretically,
No, we were dumb children. We could not have been more than like 12, and I think now maybe 14, but still too young. And yeah, got a nice big shove, and then in backing out of it. So to get up to it, you had to climb up like maybe a 4-foot ledge to get up to the level where the ravine was, so you could go into the cave. And backing out, I couldn't see where I was going, so I like slipped on the wall of the thing on my way out and tore up the inside of my arms, of all things. To the point where I still have scar tissue on the inside of my right arm from where I like completely demolished it.
I love stupid things kids do.
Oh my god, it was so dumb. In hindsight, like we could have died, and it would have been our own
In
goddamn
hindsight,
fault.
you literally almost did.
And also overall, still
Nah, they could have got you out like those soccer players.
they would have. I mean, they would have found us. We're like the area we were in was not that far away from like the rock
whoever
wall.
saved you, Elon Musk would have tweeted them, called them names, and you know.
Exactly. Except this was before like Elon Musk was like a person that mattered.
Right, I know, it was more of a reference.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, remember those times? Those are good times. But yeah, no. Overall, still a positive experience. Had a great time. If I could remember where it was exactly, I would go back in a heartbeat. But
And then get stuck again.
But for the life of me, so I was a tiny little baby, and I have no fucking clue where I was. Which also in hindsight probably not ideal. I'm sure my parents knew because like obviously they had to sign off on it or whatever. But like, yeah, very cool, very 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 cool. Not necessarily wise or smart or good, but very cool and very fun.
You guys ever see the movie The Descent?
I have not.
I love The Descent. It is so
I also
uncomfortable though. Dan, yeah,
you'd hate it.
You would hate it so much because it is a movie that really highlights small spaces. And I almost had a panic attack multiple times watching that movie. It is not a good time for claustrophobic people.
It's like, what if you were stuck in a cave, but there was like a little guy?
Yeah. So not only because you're not going to watch it, and The Descent's old, so I'm going to give you a rundown of the plot. You ready?
Wait, spoiler alert to the listeners out there.
Yeah, exactly. Spoiler alert for The Descent, which I believe came out in 2006.
2005, I want to... You know what? Let's find out. My guess is 2005.
The Descent, 2005. You fucking got it, dude.
I'm
Nice.
wicked right now.
Oh, wait. Release date, August 4th, 2006, but it does say The Descent 2005. So actually, we were both right.
You know, maybe I believe it was a British horror movie.
Yeah, it released.
And my guess is that it came out in England in 2005.
And in America in 2006. Fantastic. Anyway.
Love to see it.
So, spoiler alert for The Descent. The plot of the movie is that a group of friends, like, I believe it's the one person's husband died in a tragic accident, like a car wreck or something like that. And this is the first time they've all gotten together since then. So they're like, hey, we love rock climbing. We love spelunking. We're going to go spelunking together and it's going to be fine. And we're going to get together and do things again. But what ends up happening is they decide to go to a cave system that is fully mapped out as far as they all know. But the lead of the expedition actually took them to a different cave system, didn't tell anyone where they were going, didn't do anything about that, which would let anyone know where they would end up. So
well, hold up. I feel like, no offense to Noah here, but I feel like you're doing the movie a slight disservice by announcing that now.
Okay.
Because they didn't find that out until they were already lost in the cave.
No, I was about to say that.
Okay, I was like, yeah, because they didn't know that she did that.
Because they get down into this deep area of a cave where there's like barely any space to get in there. They're like doing the little shoulder shimmy, crawling on their bellies, trying to get through. And they're like, where are we? This doesn't match any of the maps that we have. We're really confused. We need to get out and we can't get back that way. Where's the map? And the lady's like, hey, bad news. I lied. I don't know where we are. And then, horror movie stuff starts happening then after, and I cannot stress enough, Dan, you have been watching this movie for at least 45 minutes at that point of cave tunneling. And it is a miserable time. And it's almost a relief when they finally add in a little dude to be afraid of. Because they move away slightly from the claustrophobia when they have the little dude.
I feel like we're also doing Dan a disservice by just describing it as a little dude.
He's just
Imagine
a little
like
guy.
a strange albino human, like freak that is just like eating people.
I'm gonna send you a picture of him that's like full light, but
And there's like a whole bunch of them.
you generally only see this guy through like night vision camera stuff.
That looks like a very familiar design, and I'm trying to place why it looks so familiar. It almost looks like the fucking...
Falmer from...
It looks like the orcs from Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings.
The Falmer
Yeah.
from what do you call
Elder Scroll.
Elder Scroll.
Yeah, that's exactly what they look like.
Falmer or Falmer? Which
I don't care.
Falmer, I think.
Fair enough.
I hate Elden Ring. Or not Elden Ring. I hate the Elder Scrolls.
That's
I
fair.
hate the Elder Scrolls.
I think ass.
Okay.
No, I just think that they're like fine, and I think they can be kind of fun, but I think that you can get like 60 hours worth of a good time from Skyrim, and there's just so much pressure that like if you say you're like, I played it and had fun, people will be like, yeah, but did you play it like this? Did you play it like this? Did you play it 8 times? Did you play it on Switch? Did you play it on PS5? Did you play it on PS4? I'm like, no, because I didn't care that much. I had a decent time in 2010, and then I was ready to leave. And I just the pressure to not do that, I didn't like.
I'm sorry that you feel like there was pressure from the gaming community about it. I can't
From
say
the public school community.
there it is. I was gonna say I can't say I understand because I've never experienced, but I don't want to discredit your lived experience.
Like immense nonstop talk about it, and then like I just thought like I played Skyrim and I was like, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I played Morrowind and I was like, this is not that good.
Correct.
I played Oblivion and I was like, this is all right.
Morrowind is great if that's the one you started with. I very much do understand why people don't like it though.
It's like people who keep yelling at me to go play New Vegas and Fallout 3 again. Those games are so difficult to play if you didn't grow up with them.
Okay, but have you considered maybe you just need to get a little bit better at New Vegas and Fallout 3?
I have.
No, I'm with Dan.
I have, and I get
Bethesda games are usually pretty fine.
Yeah.
And I just feel like saying that you like them well enough and that they're okay is to Bethesda fans like saying that you hate them and that you hate the person who likes them and that you never want to speak about them again and you're gonna like pee on their grave.
Which is true.
I think Skyrim is fine.
I think Skyrim is fine. I think my only big problem with like Skyrim fans is just like how many goddamn times that game has existed now. You know?
Yeah, no, that's also
so true,
frustrating.
though.
Like I like the rest of it. I'm like whatever. But like, and honestly, I've been playing. I was playing the special when I was playing it again not too long ago. I was doing the special edition re-release or whatever because I got it for free from something or another, and like it was worth it. It was worth playing it. It was a better experience. But like, was it worth the 7th fucking re-release of the same goddamn game? No, fuck off. It just wasn't. Speaking of Bethesda, I have had this weird urge to replay Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is fine.
I
have no issues with Fallout 4.
The Fallout games have never done it for me.
I have really fond memories of doing the settlement management in Fallout 4.
What?
I remember enjoying that a lot.
Wow. Honestly, in my opinion, that was by far the worst part of Fallout 4.
I like management games though. I like management games and city builders.
Yeah, but but Fallout city building was bad. Like if it gave you a free roam camera instead of like having to
sure, like
because it was a free roam camera endpoints, but like you still had to move around.
Yeah, it was a lot of finagling.
A person. So if you're trying to make a 2-floor building, you have to actually make a staircase and a floor in the 2nd floor to finish it, and then you also have to get up to the roof so that you can put the roof on.
And then you have to like jump off because you can't really like do a staircase down from the roof properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And I think that like if I were gonna do it again, I would have to find something that like makes that not suck because it does. And I distinctly remember that part sucking. That said, I also remember building like I remember the like defense missions and stuff, and I remember those being really fun. Like being able to build up your defenses and then like standing on the walls and shooting at things. Very cool. And then I never played any of the DLC, which I would like to.
DLC's fun.
You know what game is coming out?
What game is coming out?
That's gonna be better than Skyrim?
Yes.
Splatoon 3.
Let's go. Wasn't there
no, Splatoon 3 will actually be coming out on the day this releases, I believe.
Wasn't there a beta last week?
Yeah, they usually do like a couple betas for Splatoon, like the games when they come out. They do like a couple online, like everyone can play for free type betas.
It looked like it was good. Like it looked like it was a continuation of the same. Like that's kind of what I got, just slightly better and maybe a little faster is what I heard.
Yeah, I love the Splatoon games, but I just wish they didn't suck. Like, I think they're really good and really fun, but Nintendo does the thing they love to do, which is like, hey, we've got an awesome, really fun to play game, really exciting, a good time, even a fun PvE mode that you can play. It's like a horde mode. Also, by the way, that PvE mode is only available 4 hours a day, and you have to be there in the specific 4 hours. It's not 4 hours of your choosing. It's just like randomly throughout the day, only some days of the week. And also online multiplayer, a lot of fun. You can play online with your friends. You can also play online locally. Just kidding. You can only play online locally if you both have a console and both have the game. Then you can play together. That's just playing online normally. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then they also do this really cool thing, which is like, hey, let's say you have some friends and you want to play in a lobby together. So you like join like the game with them in a lobby. It'll just assign you random teams every match.
Games that do not allow you to party up with your friends and join the same team are cancerous. There are
Yeah,
so
it's
many
just like,
fucking
why-
games that
why-
do that, and I really truly don't understand why you would like
And like
actually
Splatoon
why.
is so fun. The actual gameplay is just a blast. And it's a really good. All the game modes are cool. The people who play it are fun. Like the community is a good time. It's just why can't you play with your friends in a way that doesn't suck?
No, I totally
It's a
understand that.
Nintendo thing. Nintendo hates when you can play with your friends. They hate it when you can have fun with friends.
Nintendo has issues.
Nintendo has not moved on from the you can play with your friends together in a living room era, in the sense of like
Yeah.
they have tried by implementing like online play for Smash Brothers and like stuff like that, but they haven't moved on in the world of like Mario Kart works. Like Mario Kart's a great example of you can still make it work.
Mhm.
But then Splatoon is like, oh, you wanted to play with other people? Yeah, but I mean, you understand how it would be unfair to play with friends, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like Mario Kart works because Mario Kart is everybody for themselves type of game. So like they can just be like, yeah, join a lobby. They'll play with against you, just like you're playing against them.
Yeah.
But like Splatoon, you can't just like play with a friend and like play.
Mm-hmm.
They just like it's just not feasible unless you play the PVE mode. And
Which,
at least
once
in Splatoon
again,
2,
is
that
not
was
consistent.
only available a few times a week. Like you couldn't just play, and that was baffling to me. Why couldn't I play a game mode of this game? Like the only one that you can consistently play with your friends is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with Splatoon, but I just it's so fun,
Mhm.
and the fact that even the couch co-op is gone. They don't even let you play that. Like even if you want to like go on the janky online and not necessarily be on the same team and do whatever else, you have to both have a console and both have the game.
The removal
Yeah,
of
it's
couch
insane.
co-op is something that like I do understand the concept of for like certain things. But like, did you hear Halo is removing couch co-op?
That sucks.
Like-
but I also understand because I'm willing to bet when this new Halo comes out, it's going to be mostly bought by people who are like 29, mostly bought on PC, or maybe a few Xbox sales. And PC gamers hate playing with their friends in person.
I mean
I
that
think-
that part is true.
It's a wildly weird choice though. I feel like from a franchise that like got its staying power from people playing
Yeah.
Halo 2 forever.
Halo is like the iconic screen peeking game.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think of someone like getting yelled at for like screen peeking, I think Halo.
Oh yeah.
I think Halo 2, Halo 3, like I can just remember being like middle school and like people being like, you're screen peeking when you would kill them, and you'd be like,
No, I'm just looking at the radar.
you'd be like, first of all, maybe this time, but also I didn't last time. Because like it's right there and it's your own fault. You should have been looking at me too.
I
Just have a
was
Busy your
definitely
brain,
a
idiot.
proponent of like the honor system, hey, don't screen peek. But I also had people who would yell about screen peeking and then would screen peek themselves, so I never trusted any of them with it.
I think that's
yeah. I
extremely
was always
reasonable.
I was kind of similar, where it's just like, hey, don't screen peek too much, and I won't screen peek too much, and
I-
everyone's just like, and no one's gonna get mad about it, like, and then people would inevitably get mad about it.
I think that was the key, right? Is you had to like find where you as a group were okay with screen peeking, because I think that there's also like a certain aspect of like you quite literally can't help it.
Yeah, you can't be like, no, not at all. What do you, well, how?
Like,
It's right there,
although I will say people
and you're
did
standing
the.
still.
You've seen the people do the like the thing with the blanket, where like you like
Mhm.
pin up a blanket so it's half and half. And I get that. I respect it. I would never, but I respect it.
Yeah, except for I think Halo was top bottom, wasn't it?
Halo
Yeah,
was
so
top
you'd have to-
bottom, and then
You do it vertically or do it horizontally rather. You have to do it like almost
How,
like a.
but yeah,
like
but how do you pin
blanket.
a blanket up? One person just has to sit in like a weird cave, and the
Yeah,
other person gets to hang
exactly.
on the
Yeah.
couch.
Correct.
I don't like
That's
that. See, here's the thing. I like screen peeking sometimes for the pure point of sometimes, because my brother and I would do 1v1s all the time. That's how we played Halo. We didn't
Mhm.
have other people in the house to play with us, we only had 2 controllers. Sometimes you get lost and I
Yeah.
don't know where anyone is. So I look and I'm like, "Hey Jeff, by the way, I never did this to you. I'm talking about a different brother." But
Hulk Hogan, actually.
But
This is Hulk Hogan.
sometimes you look and you're like, where on the map is this person? And then sometimes you see someone lining up a shot on you and it's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to eat
No.
that bullet. Is the honorable thing to do is eat that bullet. That's on me. And if you can
I get
walk
that.
to a spot where you can casually hide behind a pillar or something without making it obvious that you're running and hiding, well, then that would have
Right.
happened anyway. But you
Obviously.
can't. There's it's the code of ethics of screen peeking. If you're lost and you look at someone else's screen and you say they're about to kill you, you got to suck it up and take that shot.
Mhm.
That's so true though. That's so brave.
It's just,
No, it's-
it's
in my
accurate, though.
opinion,
It's
a
100%
normal
correct.
good thing to do.
I feel like for me, Halo was always really fun whenever we did like custom games because I'm not good at shooters, or I'm not bad. I'm not good. I just don't play them. So like I don't play them enough to be like good. So often like my friends would just be significantly better.
Mhm.
But when you play games like Jump Rope and Fat Kid and all those different games, it like skill just goes out the window.
Yeah, yeah.
Same with like Infection. Even Infection is like not as heavily skill based. And so everyone can have fun no matter how good or bad you are. Like Trash Compactor. Yeah, I had some good times on that game.
I feel bad because I feel like it's one of those things that like I never got to do that. Like that just wasn't a thing that I got to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfortunate because I feel like I've played some Halo like as an adult or whatever, but it really doesn't have the same oomph. It doesn't have the same nice nostalgia hit.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's still fun. Like, there's something really fun about, but I like, you know what it is? It's playing Halo now as a like in the customs multiplayer. I low key always just think to myself, why am I not just playing Gary's mod? Like, and
I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never once in my life thought the sentence, "Why am I not just playing Gary's mod?"
because like it's just like the Halo custom games are just what people like. I understand that Gary's mod ones were created after, and like they were created to mimic the Halo ones, but they're usually more in depth because you can do more in the Gary's mod engine than you can in the Halo engine.
I just don't like Gary's mod from when I've played it.
Absolutely
I don't
valid.
hate it, I just don't like it.
Absolutely valid.
Because I feel like it is one of those games that like demands so much of you.
Uh-huh.
It's not like, hey, you want to play Gary's mod? It's like, hey, you want to play Gary's mod? Do these 40 things and then spend 4 hours interfacing with it, and then you can maybe start, and then you can play anytime. But I'm like, I don't want to do that initial thing because I just rather let's just play Terraria. I'll have a good pick up and play just mechanics driven game.
Yeah, I need to. I don't know. I need to find more games to play with friends. I need more time to play with friends. I feel like I don't get to play with friends much anymore.
Yeah, I don't ever. Once a month or so, but I just don't enjoy it as much.
With what? Well, it's one of those things. Like with what time?
Honestly, I've
Yeah,
just
I
been
have
sitting
the
here trying to think of
unfortunate-
the last time I played Gary's mod.
That's
Oh, then
fair.
I can let me open up my Steam.
And actually, that's a great idea. Because I remember buying multiple games for cheap, but still buying games so that I had all the assets for Gary's mod, which has always been a problem in my opinion.
correct. That has always been, I think, Gary's mod's like literally the number one problem with it.
January 9th, 2015. Holy shit.
Mine's definitely more recent than that because I played some when I used to stream. I played like some games with the other streamers I did stuff with.
I really enjoy like Trouble in Terrorist Town as as a game mode.
Yeah, that was mainly what I played with.
Yeah.
Like, cause I used to do stuff with like some honestly like pretty big and genuinely some of them very big streamers, especially nowadays. But like, played like Gary's mod and Terrible in Terrorist Town specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I played it October 7th, 2018, which sounds about right.
Yeah, that feels about right. My problem with I like TTT and I liked Prop Hunt. I was really fucking good at Prop Hunt, but that's because the reason I and my and like the friend group Noah, my friend group stopped playing is because I made it not fun. And in hindsight, I do feel bad for it, but at the time, I didn't because I was like just turned 18 and didn't give a shit still. But I would be I had I had undiagnosed ADHD, and so when people were just walking around talking and like trying to figure out who the terrorist was, I tended towards I'm just gonna shoot somebody and see what happens.
You did do that a lot, in fact.
And it actively is the wrong way to play the game and makes it less fun, unless everyone has already agreed that like, yeah, we're okay with this.
Because I
And then in
remember
prop-
thinking you were the terrorist many times just
No,
because
and I
you
would-
would do that.
No, I was just bored. I just got real. It's honest to God, the problem I have with things like with something like Among Us now is that like I'm so bored if I'm not actively doing something.
I love those type of
Yeah.
games. I think they're a blast. But
Oh, I
I
think
get
there's-
it,
I just
guess.
have a problem though in the way that whenever I play those games, there always ends up being someone, at least in my friend group, that does a Dan maneuver in that instance. And I am always of the opinion, no matter what, just immediately kill them because they're
fair.
going to do it next time anyway, and then just immediately kill them until they don't have fun with the game anymore.
I think it's
But
extremely
that's
valid.
because I'm like,
No.
that's more on me.
No, I think that if somebody had done that to me, I would have not ruined the game for other people.
I just because I've had a friend that would always do that, and like we play like Trouble in Terrorist Town, and he would just like kill somebody and be like, oh, I was just doing it because it's funny. And be like, all right, well, we can't rule out that you're a terrorist, so let's just kill you now. And be like, whoa, and you just kill him.
Well, and I think that
people might be like,
like,
you're the terrorist, but
as-
then you'd be like, no.
as I get older, I think there's a way to do that in a way that still is fun. Like there's a way to still be very good, trigger happy while still having fun for everybody. Single other person to be on your side in trying.
I always
to
just
kill them.
lean
Like,
really
oh,
into
no,
like,
I
the
think it's this
social
person.
elements
No,
of
you
it.
gotta trust me. It's definitely this person. You just need one. But if you do it solo, you're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. But that's also,
Mhm.
but I'm also not very fun at those types of games because my brain's main priority is, oh, well, I'm supposed to win, so why don't I just try and win? And then I just like try and formulate a plan that creates a position which is literally impossible to not win. And then it's like, well, now the game's not playable because you're not playing the game because you've got everyone in like a perfect buddy system. In which case, if something happens, you have a series of events that you take, like, or a series of operations that you take. If someone were to pass away, if someone dies during the game,
You
then your
almost
partner
have
dies
to
immediately, and then you
intentionally
go on
play
from
the
there
game
in a two-person
less
system,
optimally.
and it's just
Like you almost
it's
have
no
to be like,
fun.
I can't institute a permanent buddy system with that entire team. Like you can do it with like an individual person,
Yeah,
but like
but I
'cause that was
just-
also the problem is that like once you get to a certain point in the game, it's actually impossible for the terrorists to win or for the traders to win. Actually impossible.
Perfect Buddy was the name of one of the was the chat room username of one of the predators in To Catch a Predator.
That's
God.
very
He was the guy who
specific.
consistently said role playing
Alright.
chat room, role playing chat room.
But yeah, no, I would love to play a game like that
Mhm.
again.
It was in Georgia, I believe.
Yes, not that one, not that game. To be clear,
Role-playing
although
chat
hashtag
room.
OpenRP is very funny.
Oh, that's so funny to
That's hysterical.
create a perfect buddy system and then talk about it being a role playing
It's a
chat
very
room
niche reference
because it's such
and I liked,
a niche
oh,
reference.
what was it? What's the one where you? Oh fuck, Dark RP. Dark RP was fun, but Dark RP has such a problem of like depending on which server you went on, it was so easy. It was so instantly recognizable as give the server money and you win forever. Have fun.
I have some friends of mine that were way more into Gary's mod than I was, and their stories are so
that's
funny.
The thing is,
And
I
just
would
never
go on
got
a
there
server
because I never went
server.
on like servers. Yeah, and I have some friends that did. Oh, and their stories are so. Maybe we can get them on the podcast at some point. They have some great stories. Like there's one where this dude they were doing
Classic.
dark RP, and apparently they had broken a rule that they didn't even know was a rule. And there was like a mod that was like no, and just like did that for like
Amazing.
20 minutes at them
That's a
without
very
explaining what they were doing wrong, just making a
I was
noise.
gonna say, here's the thing. That's 100%
Because
believable.
it's a Gary's mod dark RP mod. They're not a normal person. This is their life.
I think it depends
And
on where
that's
you are in
sad
your
because
life.
it's a
When we were doing
Gary's
it, we were
mod
like
dark RP
in our early
server.
teens,
But-
and Arts Republic.
Yeah, but this is a public
we-
server, and this is
was a
like
time.
they are a dark RP server mod, and that's their thing.
I mean, yes and no. The guy who used to
That
like
sucks.
mod the
No
server
matter
now works for
what.
Apple as a dev, so like he definitely turned that like Lua experience into something.
I mean, let's be real
Yeah,
though.
but that doesn't suck
Just
now.
because
That sucks
you
then.
went way
No, that's
too
what I'm saying,
hard,
though. Like but I don't
then
think we
doesn't
went
mean
too
it
hard. I
can't
think we went the
pan
right
out
amount of
now.
hard.
Yeah, it's like
Not you, the people who
I'm
are
feeling
like
attacked.
online random forum mods for things like Dark RP and like MLP
No,
RP.
thank God. I
and they're
did
just
dodge
like-
that one. Thank the Lord.
I'm sorry, did you do
Jesus
MLP role playing
Christ.
in Gary's mod?
Many things I've done that there are that I.
What if there's any good furry
I'm sorry,
servers in
what?
Gary's mod? Do you guys know Garfield is
who?
in One Piece?
No, Andrew.
Garfield?
Andrew Garfield.
The cat?
Yeah.
Do I think he is in One Piece?
No, did you know that he's in One Piece?
What? Oh God. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Jot that on your list of reasons why it's the best thing ever. It's just like a giant cat, and he's orange, and he likes to sleep, and he loves lasagna.
No, that could be anybody though. That could be
He's also like a
anybody.
great person, and he's very kind and has a good heart, and will always fight for his friends.
Well, that's nice.
But he loves lasagna.
Does he love lasagna though, or does he just like lasagna?
Oh, I accidentally copy pasted an After Effects thing instead of what I was gonna copy paste. Give me 1 second.
I can't believe that Jackson was about to send us After Effects presets.
It literally was like After Effects, like keyframe data.
Oh my God, it's a giant cat.
I'm telling you, it's Garfield in One Piece. That's the dub version, which I hadn't watched initially, but after watching that clip, it's hilarious.
No, that is hilarious. I'll give you that. That's stupid. That's stupid funny. I like it.
And he shares it with the Straw Hat Pirates.
That's where Luffy
So
is, right?
canonically speaking, Monkey D. Luffy eats lasagna with Garfield,
God.
more or less.
Jesus Christ.
I'm almost on episode 800 now.
Is the real One Piece almost about to start for you? How many episodes before the real One Piece starts?
The One Piece is real. The real One Piece I think starts in like 200 episodes,
So soon.
according to the creator of the series. What an incredible maneuver to make 1,000 chapters of a manga and then be like, now we get into the good stuff.
I mean, we've talked about it before, but how funny would it be if it goes downhill from here for some
That'd be
reason?
hilarious. It is the highest selling fictional franchise of all time, which is insane. Like more than Batman.
That's pretty great.
So like,
Could Monkey D.
Rob,
Luffy
TM,
beat Goku?
They wouldn't fight. They would hang out and eat a lot of food together.
So true.
That's like the craziest thing. Like when people talk about like would like Luffy and who would win, Luffy or Naruto? I'm like, they would literally hang out and have such a good time.
Because they'd just be eating food.
Why do you think they need to fight each other? They're both nice.
About Goku and Superman.
They would be
literally
friends.
Essentially that like, yeah, they would fight, but it would be like because they actually can fight somebody that isn't like gonna fucking die if they go fucking sicko mode. And it would be like as a friendly thing. Like it would be fun. I think they would. I think they would have friendly battles.
You know, I think Goku and Superman would probably be friends. I just think it's so weird when people like bring up anime power scaling. Like it's so strange to me.
It's
like
it
doesn't
work. I
like
really
that.
tend to dislike people even doing that in the context of comic universes that are in the same universe or whatever. Because like I don't care about a Daredevil and Iron Man fight. Like that's not. I don't care. Why? Who cares who can beat who in a fight? They have different skill sets. That's what makes them interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like technically. I mean, I'm sure if they were just like fighting full force, Goku could blow Luffy out of the water. But Luffy's not fighting Goku or people on the similar level because it's a totally different world, totally different world building, and you're in it for the ride. You're there for the story, not for who's the strongest. Because the King of the Pirates being the King of the Pirates isn't about being the strongest. It's about being the most free. As the show iterates.
Me after smoking a blunt. Damn, I'm the king of the pirates.
He's so true.
Wait. I want to hear what Jackson was going to say about Rob, guest of the podcast.
Rob, guest of the podcast, was going off about someone on Twitter who said that Luffy was more recognizable than Batman or Superman. He was like very mad about it.
He was so mad about that.
And I understand that to be a truth. If you're in the United States of America, no way.
Yeah, no.
But also, like 4 times a day, Mari sends me a picture of like Luffy's face on the side of a building. She's like, why is this guy here? I'm like, he's just hanging out. She's like, why is the stretchy guy hanging out in the 7-Eleven? I'm like, he's just there. I don't know.
Hey, sometimes the stretchy guy got to hang out at the 7-Eleven. It's just what it is.
Like he do be there.
Dan knows all about that.
Probably not the American 7-Elevens. Because they're...
I feel like American
I'm not gonna say
7-Elevens
they're
are more of a
ass.
Naruto place.
I feel like they're more of a place where you buy a weird t-shirt that says
Yeah.
legalize medicine and it has a pot leaf on it. I only say that because I saw that specific shirt at a 7-Eleven one time.
That's really great, though. I do like that.
I also liked it. I thought about buying it, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy that. That sucks. And no one will know I'm wearing it because I think it's really funny. But yeah, I think that depending on what country you're in, absolutely Luffy's more recognizable than Batman or Superman. And technically speaking, One Piece has sold more than either of those comics.
Mm-hmm.
Over 500 million in sales. That's crazy.
It's so much. Well, anyway, thanks for listening
Could be
this week.
Goku.
Dan
That's
wants to
true.
leave because
he
he thinks
could
he
if
can
I
beat
wanted
Goku,
to,
but he doesn't want to
I've
stick around and
I
prove
got
it.
stuff I've got to do.
You think Dan could be Goku?
I can't. But I could. I could.
I think they'd be friends.
I do not think Goku and I would be friends.
I don't.
Why?
You know, I gotta be honest. I don't know if you and Goku would be friends either.
I know that Goku and I would be friends.
Without a doubt. No, I very much agree with that.
He's just a guy.
I do like snacking, and I apparently I
He
do
wants
like
to fight,
fighting,
and he
but I
loves
like
snacking.
fighting with words and not fists.
Yeah. I was like, who have you fought
With
recently?
Goku,
I
obviously.
mean, number one, when were you in the
I
ring
did.
last?
You didn't hear about? Oh man, I mean,
You
really
fought
unfortunate
Goku.
for you.
Yeah, Dragon Ball fans are the most.
There's a lot of fans out
insufferable,
there
huh?
that are
I would
insufferable as
agree.
hell. I was gonna say Homestuck is rough, and I know we.
That's
we roast
true.
that
I always
fucking
forget that,
property a lot on
Homestuck
the
is a
show, but I
thing.
don't give a shit. It deserves it. It doesn't deserve it. Its fan base deserves it.
Undertale.
I think that's the problem, right? There's some. I don't
Yeah,
want to get
we
into
almost
this.
had
It's the end of the episode. No, I'm not going to take the bait.
I would.
Next week, we're going to talk about
love
Gary's
to play
mod Dark
TT with you
RP
guys
after we've all
sometime.
played 20 hours of it.
Okay.
I would rather die. Not than play TTT. That would be fun.
Join us next week for Gary's mod Dark RP review.